This will be my third video with Mission Generator. When we landed last at that little grass field, I relocated the plane to a nearby airport, which is Wharton. I can't remember its code. KARM, Alpha Romeo, and M just completely escaped my memory. Wonderful. That's when my day started. How are you doing today? Great. Regardless, this is a more suited airport with fuel, all the amenities that you'd need, and asphalt. Asphalt is always good for airplanes. I don't like grass. It is an absolutely beautiful day. The sun is just now coming up. You can see that wonderful glow on the Bonanza. It was pretty a minute ago, but I was a little late at starting my recording. So I was looking through Mission Generator and I picked another mission. We're gonna kind of keep a northwest trend on our path. I think I have a underlying mission in my mind as to where I want to ultimately end up, so we'll just see where Mission Generator takes us over however many videos it's going to take. But I decided to go to Sonora Muni. That's not exactly north. I mean, that's pretty west of our situation, or our current location. But I believe that's going to lead us in a northerly direction from there. So this is going to be a long flight, 247 nautical miles. When there's really nothing to say or do, I'll just kind of do a little looking around the airplane, and I might fast forward things for you so you guys aren't completely bored, because this is going to be a couple hours anyhow. I mean, 15-minute flights are taking an hour video, so this is probably going to be like a 5-hour video with my luck. Regardless, this is where we're going, and as strange as it is, 50 pounds of sausages going to Sonora Muni. And don't screw it up like last time. Well, I didn't screw anything up last time, and you're not the boss of me. It's my plane, so 50 pounds plus pilot. Alright, let's go ahead and adjust our weights. I'm sure it already has adjusted the weights, but let's see. 216 pounds. It has not. And it said 56 pounds. Close enough. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and top our tanks off while we're here. Weight and balances are good. We have 5.5 hours of total flight time available. And one of these days I'm going to figure out the center of gravity and how it actually affects the plane in this, and where I need to set it to get everything true and correct, as I should. Again, this is all a learning curve for me. I'm just figuring things out as I go, so be gentle on your criticism, please. But alrighty, let's get things set up. I already have a flight plan punched into SkyVector, and I'm going to transfer it over to the plane. Let's go ahead and get inside and get things going. Let's get those static elements off. We don't need those. Alright, here we are. Let's get our battery turned on. Let's get our avionics turned on. I'm going to cheat and use the pop-out so I could actually see the bloody thing. Go to flight plan, menu. We don't need this flight plan no more, so we're going to get rid of that. Okay, KARM, that is great. Let's see, we're going to be leaving Wharton. We're going to be traveling, heading 338 for 26 nautical miles. We're going for the Eagle Lake VOR. Let's type that in. It's ELA. And that's not going to let me. Sorry if I'm sniffing in your ears, guys. Allergies are kicking my butt currently. Okay, from Eagle Lake, then we're going to join the Victor 556 Airway to the Seeds intersection, SEEDS. There we go. From the Seeds intersection, we're going to... it's not going to tell me anyhow. We're going to continue following the Victor 556 Airway, and we're going to go to the Stonewall VOR STV. Let's put that in. And I know you guys can't see it, but I am switching windows back and forth between SkyVector and X-Plane. One of these days I'll figure out how to broadcast it so you can see my charts and everything. US South, correct, accept. From Stonewall, we're going to continue on the Victor 566 to the Junction VOR, JCT. Oops, wrong one, like normal. JCT. There it is. And from there, we're going to be departing that VOR. We're going to just track it outbound at heading 266 for 43 nautical miles. And that's going to put us right just north of Sonora. Big issue out here is massive amount of MOAs, military operating areas. And it looks like down by Del Rio, right on the Mexico border, is where U.S. has the big operations, but it says extensive student jet pilot operation area. Though they are highly trained military personnel, and I'm sure they go through an extensive amount of training before they get into a $20 million jet and go terrorizing the landscape, I don't want to be nowhere near that, because they could run into me and be completely gone before I even know what happened. So we're always going to come in from the north. According to the charts for Sonora, we have to stay within 10 nautical mile radius of the airport at or below 4,000 feet, which kind of puts a little bit of a pressure on us, since how the runway elevation is 2,300 feet, and we got towers around the 2,700 foot mark. So we have only about 1,000 foot area to work with just to circle the airport, and there's all kinds of towers around this particular airport. So with that said, let's set our frequencies in. Sonora is going to be the only ADF that we're going to track, and it's on 371, so we're going to tune that into one of these right now. 371. Oh, come on. Oh, no, come on. There we go. I'll tune that over right there. That'll be on standby. Okay, and let's see. So our first VOR, Eagle Lake, is what? Frequency channel, or frequency 116.4. Morse code is short, short, long, short, 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 long. Let's listen for it, see if we can pick it up. Oh, wait a minute, 116.4. Yeah, there it is, 116.4. I don't hear it. Do I have my sounds on? Radios are on. Should be able to hear it. I don't hear it. Okay. Maybe we'll hear it when we get in there. Regardless, I better turn that down, otherwise you guys are going to go deaf as soon as we get in there with this interior. Alright, so 116.4 is in for Eagle Lake. Once we leave Eagle Lake, we'll just fly into the Seeds intersection, which is, why is this not... Something's funny here. Yeah, regardless. Once we get to the Seeds, then, okay, Stonewall is 113.8. Now, is that one actually going? Yeah. For the straight line, when we leave Eagle Lake, we'll track that one outbound. But just as a precaution, we're going to follow San Antonio because it's on a straight line. And that's, there's a bloody prohibited area right over the map. I need to turn off some layers, apparently. Not that one. There we go. 116.8. We'll put that in just as a precaution. 116.8. So when we leave Eagle Lake, we'll track 116 towards San Antonio until we reach the Seeds intersection. In case we lose one or another, we got them both tuned in. And then we'll switch it over to Stonewall 113.8. So let me put that in the backup on the secondary of this one. Did I just say 116.8? Why is there 113.8? I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit messed up this morning. My mind is not completely here and I shouldn't be flying. And then finally 116.0 for junction. I'll put that in this one. Okay, I got all my frequencies in. Not necessarily in the right spot, but they're in. Alright, so how's this look on the map? Let's back it out. 50, nope, that's the wrong way. 150 knots, 200. Yeah, that looks alright, so flat, like this. Okay, I'm good with that. Alright. So flight plan, oh, it doesn't even know where we're ending up at. Okay, so finally, we're going to end up at KSOA. KSOA, Sonora Muni. Accept. And come back up here. Procedure, select approach. And see, it only gives you runway 18, so they only want you to approach from the north, and that is it. Okay. From JCT. That's where we're going to be transitioning from. Yeah, load. So what does that look like? JCT, KSOA, approach north 18. So there's JCT. A procedure turn. Henry, runway 18. Okay. So with that in there, yeah, let's go ahead. We can go ahead and delete this now. Okay, so JCT, and then we begin, and then this is leaving JCT. We'll see if that works. Okay, I'm good with it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and close that down. Let's turn this off. Let's fire up the plane and begin. Let's turn the beacon on. Window comes down. Okay, prop full RPM, mixture full rich, throttle wide open. Select left tank. Both tanks are full. I didn't look at it. Well, yeah, the power's on, so both tanks are full. We're good. Okay, cow flaps are open, flaps are up, 3 green, switches on, fuses are in and correct. Let's prime the system. 1, 2, 3. Okay, clear the prop. Ooh, close the throttle. See, I messed up. Turn that noise off, turn the alternator on, avionics on. We got charge, we got oil pressure, we got vacuum. Okay, let's turn this on to standby. I'll probably forget about it. Alright. Let's see, we need to pick up our ATIS. Gotta figure out what
Plosius Muni weather.
That's Plosius.
Wind light.
18475.
Wharton Regal weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 9,000 scattered, 12,000 scattered. Temperature 20, dew point 14. Altimeter 2991.
2991. Weather is beautiful. Okay. Okay, so we already got the navigation set. We got all of our frequencies dialed in. We're on Unicom. Well, not on Unicom for here. 122.7. Not like there's anybody to talk to.
Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10.
But why not?
Sky conditions 9,000 scattered, 12,000 scattered.
You can stop telling me all that again. Thank you. Have a nice day. Alright, so that's good. Altimeters are set. Set our minimums 200. Good. Can't test that. We're going to be flying nav. Radio nav as best as we can. Fuel flow's good. Fuel tank's good. Motor's good. Temperatures are coming up. EGTs are good. All cylinders are firing. Trim is zeroed. I'm going to go one up. Down. They are working. Flaps up. Wonderful. And controls. In, out, left. They seem to be free and correct. We're good to go. Alright. I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff, huh? When we depart, we're going to fly runway heading until 300 feet, and then we'll turn to get on course. That will be heading 338 once we leave. So let's see. Get that flag out of my way for a minute. 338. About there. Yes, about there. Alrighty. We're going westbound, so we're going to go to 8,000 feet. Climb out about 700 feet per minute. I'm going to set all this as a backup just in case something takes place that I need to let it take over. Or if I get otherwise distracted focusing on something else. I'm just going to set that like that, then I'll arm it and engage it. But that'll only happen after I turn on the flight director and activate the autopilot. Yaw dampener we're going to keep stowed and put the trim, auto trim to free. That is on standby. Radios are set. All temperatures are coming up. We're all in the green. Alright, we're going to taxi down this direction and then take off. Windsock, which is right there. That would be correct. Wind's coming down the runway. Alright, let's go for a ride. Nav light. Taxi light. We don't need strobes. Clear left. Clear right. We're gonna make a right turn out of here, it looks like. And brakes work. Let's go. Wow, those reflections are so nice. And I'm yet to get the update, the Vulcan update for X-Plane. It hasn't been released to the public yet. I'm really looking forward to it. Because then I'll be able to max all settings out. I'm almost close to having all my settings maxed right now. And if it does as good as they're claiming, then I should be able to max all my settings. So it'll be a real nice flight for me. Still hoping that this is recording in decent quality for everybody. At least 1080. My center line, I just cannot do it. Try to look around and I end up off the taxiway. We're going to go ahead and take the full runway. Slight crosswinds, but it said light and variable. Let's make sure it hasn't changed.
Wharton Regal weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 9,000 scattered.
I don't want to listen to it again. Slow down. Light and variable, so it doesn't particularly matter which way we're facing, but we'll come over here, just hold short. Let's do a quick run up just to make sure. Set the parking brake. Turn the taxi light off. 1900 RPM. And prop. 150 drop. And okay, there's 150. Recovers. Right mag. It's a 50 drop. Recovered. Left mag. 50 drop. It recovers. Vacuum is good. It's over 4. Full. Both tanks are full. All EGTs are showing. Each cylinder has heat, which means it's firing. We're operating in relatively decent shape. A little variation, no big deal. Oil pressure is good. Amps are good. Cylinder temps are good. Oil temperature is good. We are good for takeoff. Radar minimum set. Radio dialed in. We're going to be, when I get on the runway, I'll zero my bug for runway heading. Altimeter set, radios are set, navigation set, DME set. Let's go ahead and turn this on, because I'm always forgetting that. All fuses incorrect, 3 green. You know what? I believe we're ready for takeoff. Let's go ahead and bring this back. Turn on the land lights, strobe lights, check the flat line. Looks pretty clear to me. Runway looks pretty clear to me. Something tells me we can get on this runway and get out of here. And I swear one of these days when I don't actually look is when this game's going to suddenly decide to put a plane there just to mess with me. Runway 32. Flap, 15 degrees of flap, I should say, confirmed. Cow flaps are open. Final check. Okay, we'll leave our gear down when we get to the halfway point. If anything happens, we will use the remaining runway to come to an abrupt stop, emergency stop. If we are out of runway, then we'll continue. We got power lines right here at the end of the runway, so we need to make sure we get off the ground, and we need to have a pretty sharp rate of ascent, at least 300 feet, and then from there climbing at 700 feet per minute should be acceptable. If anything happens at or below 500 feet, we will find some place that looks less painful to put the plane down, 30 degrees left, 30 degrees right, whichever, field, cornfield, anything like that. Let me scream at some cats real quick. 1,000 feet, we will continue to do the same thing. If we're over 1,000 feet, then we'll attempt to turn around to return to this airport should we be able to, but we'll be making a decision at that point. Okay. Let's go. Airspeed's alive. I did not do this. And let's get out of here. Okay. Oh, no more runway left. Up, 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 up. Gears up. 300 feet. Flaps in. We're clear of the power lines. I'm completely confused what's going on right now. So for the meantime, we're going to do this. Let's turn on the flight director autopilot. Let's go nav. Let's arm this. We're going to just settle this out because apparently I had a lapse of judgment. Okay, I didn't have lapse of judgment. That's exactly the way it was until I messed it up. 338, so yeah, it should be right there. Alright, let's turn off our landing lights so we don't need it no more. Just like that. Okay. Yeah. And it is lining us up. Let's set climb power. Let's bring it back to 2,500. Square is what I was always told. Well, not told, but what I've watched other Bonanza owners do with their real planes as they climb out. That's actually about 26 on the fuel flow and manifold pressure, but climbing out 700 feet per minute, so we're doing all right. Nothing too exciting, but there's those contrails coming from the wingtips. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Okay, so once we get to Eagle Lake, we'll be turning heading 270 to join the Victor 556 Airway. Due west. Still doing good on our climb. Give it a little more juice because we're getting up there. Speed's great. Over a little bit of fluff in the sky. Absolutely beautiful day. The reflections are just amazing to look at. Every now and again you get a texture in this game that makes you question if it's not a real picture or not. Of course you see that, then you look here and you see these jagged edges, and oh yeah, that's obviously computer. Unfortunately, there's not much to see in this area of Texas. It's all flat land. Though, once we get closer to San Antonio, we'll start seeing a little bit of texture in the ground, some hills and valleys, and maybe something a little more visually pleasing. As you just saw, this needle spun around and moved, which means it just picked up the San Antonio VOR. So this one's going to be pointing us to San Antonio, and this one's going to come back and point us to Eagle Lake. We'll just fly these needles until we get to the Seeds intersection. Now we're off of GPS, we're on to radio nav. Because anybody can fly the magenta line. Of course, anybody can hit a button and use autopilot too. Not much skill involved there other than paying attention to what you're doing. As you guys have seen, I forget many things. I really need to print off a checklist just to have on my lap so I could actually do this correctly. We're getting close to the Eagle Lake VOR, 7.6 nautical miles away from it. I'm just going to go ahead and switch it over to heading and hold the heading directly towards it. This is telling us we're going to want to go looks like. Actual heading, track heading should be 270 though. So we'll go ahead and switch this around, match it up. Looks pretty close. When we see this come down, that's when we'll start making our turn. Same time, we're almost up to our cruising altitude of 8,000 feet. Got a monitor to make sure it's going to lock us in at 8,000 feet. And it's going to be doing it just about the same time. Now it looks like we'll have a few minutes. Let's see if it catches. Okay, it caught. We're going to let it settle out, let our airspeed recover. Set cruise power. Now we're up, so let's switch our tanks. We used 1/8 of a tank. Now we'll go over to our next full tank. 4.5 miles to our turn. Okay, 2.5 miles to go. We're getting there. It's starting to come at us. Of course, the GPS will give us a timer countdown as to exactly when to turn, but it should be happening really soon. Probably about when this bar reaches right here. That's probably when it's going to tell us to turn, somewhere between these two. Covered. Let's go ahead and bring this back to what just happened. Oh, our turn is now, apparently. Went right over the top of it. I wasn't paying attention. So now we're going to have to adjust. That happened very suddenly. I wonder what I failed to set. We'll intercept it again. Get on our way out of here. See if we can't get it to slowly come back over now. Yeah, you can see how far off we are. That's not quite right. As you can see, it's not exactly lined up. I'm going to bet it's about right there. Looks like a little bit more of an intercept. Yeah, it's showing 270. Just as I thought it would. Of course, I didn't tell you guys that. That's what I was thinking when I was looking at it, setting up a flight on SkyVector. These are almost in a perfectly straight line with each other, which that would definitely is visual proof that we are on the right track. Almost. Not quite. Although that's pretty dang close. This is so hard to get. There we go. Nav. Alright. And now it's going to turn me right off the course. Oh, there it is. Okay, regardless, now that we're turned, let's set our cruise power. Bring our fuel flow down to something more reasonable and affordable, around 13 gallons per hour. Bring our prop down to about 24 and a half. Let's see, what is that doing for 48 knots on the ground right now. I filed for 150. Let's give it 2,500 RPM. I don't have the chart to determine. Actually, I do have the chart. You guys can't see it. Right, it's a standard day for temperature. Let me look and see what the. Let's try to do that. Yeah, see, I'm not even going to get 22 on the manifold. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. The manifold pressure peaks. So they're starting to drop. Now I'm going to get reaching it up. Up, it's peaked, and now it's starting to drop with the richer I make it. So I'm going to think that's probably best power. I don't know. I really don't know. Nautical miles from seeds. That's when we're going to split off and track that other VOR, which is the STV 113.8. So let's get that queued up. 113.8 is up next. I think we're on 116 Eagle Lake. This. So go to heading. We want 116.8. It's going to stay there, so we're going to switch that. Okay, we're not going to switch that. I should switch it over to the primary. Should be tracking 116.8 and the secondary on 113.8. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So officially messed everything up. Yeah, I'm doing good. Okay, 113.8, that's at the seeds intersection. That's what we're going to be chasing. So once we get to seeds, you can see it's dialed in right here. We'll switch over to that. And we'll put the San Antonio behind us. It's going to be completely off. It's going to be showing off this direction, which is fine. And then we'll basically be chasing the 113.8. And we'll be continuing on the Victor 556 airway. Right through Stonewall VOR and continuing past it to the Junction VOR. Now, prior to having fancy instruments like that or even this, you're just relying solely on basic radio, which would just be these two right here, and your instruments, including this. All these, you'd have to plan it all out on chart. You have to know your plane, its performance, its speed, climb rate, and everything. Winds, how it will affect you. A whole lot of planning comes into play. And then you literally have a stopwatch, and every time you make a move, you time yourself between each move to navigate to where you're going, just based off of looking at your instruments. Luckily, we have cheating tools, and you know what? I'm going to use the cheating tools. There. I forgot to switch it back over to navigation to track the VOR, and I was just on the heading bug, and with a slight bit of wind at altitude, it pushed me way off course. And when you do all this on paper and you don't have these instruments, if I wasn't paying attention, I would have never known that, and I would have missed my turn by many miles, and I would have never found where I was going. I would have been completely lost. Should be able to intercept it. It's coming over pretty nice now, but I'm so close to actually making my turn, but it's 9.6 miles away from turning from the Seeds intersection, and I'll be turning heading that's a good question. Heading my turn. It's like 286. 284. Actually. Okay. 284, 285. It's telling me to turn heading 266. That's where I'm going now. 289. Okay. Must be the magnetic variation. There you can see the variation. This is showing me just slightly left to west. See how far off it is up here. Well, even though that when this was put in 180, 180, that should be. I think that's right. Wow. Just flying along with my cowl flaps open. I'm sitting there looking at my temperatures, wondering why they're so low. And see, now they start to rise. And they're still within the green arc, but they were really low. It's also going to give me a few extra knots, too. And again, that's why you have checklists. You have your pre-flight checklist, before takeoff checklist, run-up checklist, climb checklist, cruise checklist, descent checklist. It's all very important because it's too easy to forget one little item, and that can really affect your entire trip. If we were budgeting fuel right to the last drop, having those cowl flaps open would cause enough drag to where we would have run out of fuel. Luckily, that's not the case with this particular flight, and if you budget your flight right to the last drop, you have problems anyways because you should stop well before that. Okay, it looks like we're about to make our turn. It says heading 290. And 4 seconds. And now. We're going to switch this over to Stonewall. Let's see if we can track it. tracking it okay. Alright, I got both of them on Stonewall, so... we're slightly off. Not too much. I bet it'll settle out and be alright, though. Yeah. I think we're okay. GPS doesn't think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. And set that straight, and let's dial in our next VOR after Stonewall, which will be our final one. That's Junction at 116.0. Actually reading it. Okay. We're good to go. We're still on the Victor 556 airway. San Antonio's right here somewhere. If you can see it through all the haze and humidity. Yeah, see now the temperatures are coming up where they should be. That looks much better. Yes, that looks much better. EGTs are pretty hot. One thing about this particular model, they always seem to be right in this area. There's this line here, which makes me wonder. I imagine at 500 degrees that seems correct for exhaust temperature. Maybe around 200-300 would be more ideal. Makes me wonder if this line right here is where you should have it set. You can see the 08 shadow. I don't know if that was something when they're actually doing pictures of the real aircraft. Because apparently this is the modeling come off of a real Beechcraft. Just converted it. A lot of these photos in here are actually real. You can look at various items and see wear on them. It's obviously as a result of the actual aircraft. You see the specks of dust on the dash. Gives a little realism by having that there, but here's a scratch in the paint. Just little things you start noticing. See how the Phillips heads, of course, they are all exactly identical, so they obviously just took a picture of one and then copy pasted them everywhere. They're all at the exact same angle. Well, I say exact same angle, and there we go, there's one that's not. Yeah, I can't win. I should have been using this one as well to help track my path left and right. It lines up, it's just like this line right here in between. But it's just here, it swings off to one side or the other to let you know how far off of the path, your intended path is. Look at that EGT. That, see, I looked at that, I was just telling you that looks really hot, and then I look over at this actual manual EGT gauge, you can see it's peaked out. There's a little star right there. I wonder if that's staying the hell below that, maybe. In which case, I'm just at it, so I am running hot. Running 13 gallons per hour, 13.4. Not much I could do. I mean, back to 75% throttle. And then reaching it up to 13.5. AGTs go down. What does that do to their speed? Goes down, down, down. Back up, let's bring it back up to 13.5 gallons per hour. Airspeed is just falling off. So that's just not working. So let's go ahead and bring it back to power. Sorry for the noise there. And lead it back down to 13. Right there. Airspeed, let's let it recover. Hopefully they packed us sausage. Some good ice to last for this flight. It must be some really good sausage to hire a private plane to bring it to you. Let's update our weather. Let's get data from a nearby airport. And I'm thinking San Marcos Regional. Hey, San Marcos, that's where Aviation 101 flies out of. Cessna 182. I don't know the beginning numbers. I think it's 80, 9 or 9 or 1. You gotta watch his videos. He's pretty good. Aviation 101. Really good information to learn from that guy. This is where he's based out of, I believe, is San Marcos. So let's check their ATIS. Find that their ATIS is 120.825. 120.825. I'll see if I can't figure out how to put a link to Aviation 101. So y'all can check out his videos.
Information Alpha. 1200 Zulu weather. Wind 360 at 6. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 18, dew point 9. Altimeter 2998.
2998.
Arriving runway 35, departing runway 35. Advise on initial contact you have Alpha. San Marcos Muni Information Alpha.
Oh, wow. I'm sitting here talking to you and I had my mic on mute. A lot of this sections I'll probably trim out of the video, so you're going to see the scenery jump and change on random, just to save you the boredom. It's not much to do when you're just flying the needle or following GPS. You just kind of sit back and watch the show. Nice. All forces naturally grow with perfectly straight lines and in blocky fields like this. Yes. That is very convincing. we got some hills now, a little texture to the ground, some water to look at. The towns look so horrible. The way they auto-generate the roads and the buildings. It just, yeah. There's room for improvement. Map, that lake is called Canyon Lake, just northeast of San Antonio. And as soon as we pass the Stonewall VOR, we're going to be flying right next to Fredericksburg, popular little tourist trap. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's either Fredericksburg or Kerrville. One of the two is where the Grumman manufacturer is for Grumman aircraft. Or Moonies. I don't remember which. I'll have to look that up. Sorry about that, everyone. Didn't mean to leave you staring at the dash with nothing to do. Fine-tune my fuel flow and get the maximum performance. I keep looking at it and it says I should be cruising between 154 and 160 knots at 2,500 RPM, 13.3 gallons per hour, but I should have 22.5 inches on my manifold. I can't get it that high. It's a standard day. Plane is only 3,300 pounds, I believe. Let's check that. Oh, it's 2,900 pounds. Okay. Now let me look at my charts and see if I can't play with this one. I can't read it. The quality of the copy of it is horrible, and it's scanned in. I can't read what it says. It's in a shaded section that is supposed to be the target area, but that shading distorted the picture in transition, so I just can't read what it says. How we missed Eagle Lake, overshot it, come back, captured it, veered off course. This is when I was on heading. We got back on it, made her turn, and here we go. Just slightly offside of it, but no big deal. It straightened up. As soon as we hit this, we're going to track to Junction. And from Junction, we're going to head out this way. Bad flight. talking to you with you on mute. I'm getting a bad habit of that. So we're lined up now. We're tracking the Junction VOR, and behind us is the Stonewall VOR. 59 nautical miles, and then we'll be making our turn to our destination. Fredericksburg, tourist trap of a town. That doesn't surprise me. It has a detailed airport. A lot of people fly in and out of there. There's a lot of talk about it. I guess there's some really good food at the airport or somewhere around there. Sorry, everybody. I just want to check something real quick. 54, 59. Okay, that's it. I'm good. I swear one of these days I'm going to remember to just go the direction of least resistance instead of the longest way around. Anyhow, Fredericksburg words, they elude me. ATIS.
Gillespie County weather. Wind light and variable, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 13, dew point 7. Altimeter 3003.
Gonna change. 3003 it is. Until midday, the pressure changes a lot with the sun coming up and heating the atmosphere up. Air densities change and all that good stuff. Difference when you're being lazy and flying on autopilot, but what the heck, there it is. Texture happening right here. Almost looks like water swirling around. Still not hearing any of the Morse code signals. Our radios are probably turned down. Off. Oh, well, I bet that has something to do with it. Nope, still don't hear anything. Not hearing anything. Okay, well, I'll figure that out one day too. when we get in range, then it'll suddenly pop up and give us all half a heart attack because suddenly some strange voice starts talking in your ear. Or I mess the radios up to the point where I won't be able to hear anything at all anymore. Makes me wonder if this switch even has a function that affects anything. So if that was off, we should have never heard anything. No ATIS or nothing. So I wonder if this is just there to be there. mildly confused me looking at that heading 84084. That's east. So no, we don't want to go east of Junction VOR. We want to go west. This is, we'll be leaving the Junction VOR. Yeah, we'll be leaving it. So if we were to turn around, so we got to add 180 to this. Okay, that messed with my head for a minute. Is actually kind of boring. I have the HD scenery mesh and whatnot installed, but it just doesn't seem to be looking, because you can see this perfect lines. It's just repeated pattern over and over and over again. There's some identical line marks, but it's just too square and straight line perfect for nature. Just not very convincing. I think I'm going to investigate getting Ortho XP.
Sonora muni weather.
That scared me.
Wind
Told
calm.
you it would.
Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 11. Dew point 5. Altimeter 3015.
3015, another big change. And as you can see, we were way too high if we would have stayed. If it was low visibility, we'd think we'd be about to touch down and there'd be no runway. There'd be nothing underneath us. We would have been, let's watch it settle out here. We would have been almost 100 feet above the ground and not know it. If it was zero visibility, we would have, we'd be thinking we were touching down and we'd still be 100 feet off the ground. That would have been a big problem. Okay, so we're getting pretty close now. We're gonna depart the VOR. It says on a 084, which is here. Roughly on 60, yeah. About right here. That's not the case. You add 180 to it, we're gonna be departing it this way, so. I already put it in. 264. Pretty dang quick, so once I see it get down to 0.8, then I will select heading and we'll go that direction. And from that point we'll begin tracking ourselves away from VOR. It's only 13 miles. I'm going to check my charts once we make the turn. I'm not going to do it now because I know if I do, I'll miss my turn. So you see this is already starting to come off. Okay, arriving waypoint. And let's go ahead and turn. Alright, so now I need to look at my nav log. Nautical miles at this heading to the Henry waypoint. And looking at this, that is not what I wanted. That's the SOA. Heading 355. Looks like we're going to fly right to the ADF, that's what it's called. The SOA ADF. Let me make sure I'm going to check my charts. Yeah, SOA, that's the ADF, so we're going to fly straight to the ADF, and we're going to turn north, heading 355. And then make a 180 and come back at it. Seems a little strange. Yeah, so we're going to fly straight into it, right over the top of the airport. Then we're going to make a right turn to heading 355. And then turn south, heading 170. Alright, interesting. When we get close, that's when we need to be at our descent, which isn't going to be much. Let me check the charts on the runway and see what our approach altitudes are. So when we get to SOA, that's when we start our descent to 4,000 feet. right on top of it, then come straight down with a procedure turn to land. That is very interesting. Okay. Here we go. 4,000 feet is going to be our target. So we'll get this set up and ready. We're actually going to come down on it pretty fast, so call it 900 feet per minute. That's a pretty quick descent. Right up for it. Come in, make a right turn, make another turn, and come right back at it. So probably right in here is when we'll start our descent down to 4,000 feet. Hopefully we'll be at or near 4,000 feet by the time we make this turn right here. According to the chart, yeah, at 4,000 feet when you make the turn at SOA. So, alrighty. That's going to put us 2,000 feet off the ground because the touchdown elevation is 2,139 MSL. Let's see what happens. I don't know why this is. It says there's an elk here. As if I could actually look down and see an elk or animals down there. It even reports birds. Yeah, so somewhere right here there's an elk that's showing up on the radar. Yeah, for some reason I don't think a deer or an elk or any of the above critters will have antlers on them large enough to be picked up by radar. But hey, you know, whatever works. Maybe it's a pilot report. I don't know. Switch to our fullest tank. 23 nautical miles out. That actually might be about 15 nautical miles. I'll start the descent. Guess I could set up the... target altitude. Ah, you suck. Let's see what it says. It's probably going to tell me I'm too late for SOA. tell me, so when this reaches 900, that's when I begin my descent. So I can... There we go. That'll work. I'll just follow that, which is actually going to happen here pretty dang quick. So I'll just go off of that. I have to keep looking down at my button, make sure I'm not talking to you guys and have the mic muted. Although I highly doubt any of you have stuck around this long, so I'm probably just going to be talking to myself forever on this video, and nobody will ever hear me say anything. Makes me wonder if anybody's actually finished any of my videos. Regardless, I'm doing this for me. I enjoy it. I'm publishing it. If somebody else likes it, great. If not, well, that's why there's a back button. You can select a different video. See, 900 feet per minute. Yeah, that's what I got. That's once that gets there. Alright, good deal. I apologize if there's bells and knocking in the background. I have a very hyperactive kitten that's decided it's playtime. That's an elaborate grass runway. What is that? 13TX. Okay. There's another one. Oh, it's actually asphalt, looks like. No, that's dirt. Yep, that's a dirt road. Dirt asphalt. Not dirt. It's pretty long, actually. Must be for gliders. Almost there. We'll start it a little earlier. That way we can make sure that we are, in fact, there. Okay, we're close enough. I'm going to go ahead and start the descent. Let's bring the throttle back. Let's bring our prop RPMs up. Mixture up. Start setting ourselves up for landing. I'm going to turn this out. Because, yep, that's what I thought. We ended up off course. To the right of us. By hand. Once we reach Sonora, then we gotta fly heading 355. There it is, right there. Where's the VOR? this smoothly. Regardless, yes, we'll be landing this direction. Where is that bloody thing? Oh, it's here. Somewhere. The damn thing will quit twitching. That came down, that's fuel. Visible, not that it's necessary, but try to follow the procedures. We're actually going to go a little bit past the airport and get into this hold, as you can see, and that's the way we'll make the landing right there. So I think here in just a second, we're almost 4,000 feet. I believe I'm going to take control of the plane here momentarily. Yeah, I think I'm about to do it. Turn that off. Turn the autopilot off. And I now have control of the plane. This hold pattern here. Power back up. Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of staying on the lines, I know. Okay, let's get ready for landing. We need to be on the fullest tank. They're both pretty much equal. Right tank is selected. It's just slightly more full. Everything seems to be good and correct. These ones are set. Let's check our altimeter one more time.
Sonora Muni weather. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 11. 2.5. Altimeter 3015.
3015. Okay, we're good. Again, if we were on Unicom and anybody to worry about, we'd be making our calls as to our locations and what we're doing. Right now we're on the downwind of the pattern. tight that turn was. There sure is a long downwind. Start bringing our speed back to around 120. Job of reducing my speed, am I? Yes, I'm totally cheating and watching the GPS while I do this. If I planned it properly, I would have been able to do this without use of looking at the GPS, but I did not plan properly, so I'm not beginning my final descent. Once I get lined up, I will, there we go, about 200 feet per minute. Let's get lined up, visual on the field, and I will settle the plane in for landing. And that looks like it right there. I am not even slightly lined up. How interesting is that? Look at that. Oh, I see we need to come off to the side. Gotcha. It's like following this road. Regardless, the field is in sight. Let's go ahead and put first flaps in. Get our right turn. Yeah, we're on final. Let's go ahead and put the gear down. Begin our descent. Line up with the actual runway. GPS is off. Interesting. So 2,100 feet. We're 1,000 off. You can see the radars coming in, 1,000 feet. White over white, we're too high. White over red, we're just right. And red over red, you're gonna die. Okay, we're lined up. We're on the glide path, glide slope. Full flaps. Knots, just right. Let's bring it down a little more. About 300 feet above the ground. 85 knots, minimum's cross-checked. 200 feet. Verified landing gear. Should have done that a long time ago. Let's bring it down to 80. So, okay. We are at Sona. Exit right here. Okay, we are done. Why did it not debrief me? There it is. Alright. Turn right here. And stop. It's probably not where I should be parking, but you know what? It's where I parked. Alright, cool. I leveled up. Let's close that. Set the parking brake. Cowl flaps. They'll stay open. Taxi light off, nav light off, strobe lights off. Throttle, cut the motor. Beacon off, alternator off, battery off, key off. And just deliver some sausage. Alright, we just delivered 56 pounds of sausage. Oh, that is so strange. Alright, well, there you guys go. I'm not going to bore you to death anymore. I may make another video today and fly out of here. Again, I have an idea in the back of my mind as to where I want to end up, so I'm going to constantly favor northwest flights, west and northwest. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Thanks for watching, if you watched, and if you made it this far, thank you. Have a nice day.